Well, Casey, why are you acting so surprised? We've always known that the WNBA doesn't know how to treat their stars properly. I'm not talking about the WNBA and the egregious way they treat the Great White Hope. Not only does this dump not know how to create stars, the disrespect, the outright defiance, it is coming from the president of the Indiana Felines, which means this is coming from Caitlin Clark's own team.
For weeks, fans have been saying the WNBA was letting its biggest star, Caitlin Clark, get targeted. You saw the hits and asked when someone would step in. The answer came, but not from a whistle or a statement. It came in a number, 48%. That's how much all-star ticket prices dropped as soon as Clark's injury was announced. This wasn't just a bad hit anymore. It became a multi-million-dollar problem. It exposed the league's real motive. They only act to protect their top player when their money is on the line. Now, let's connect the dots, from the hit to the injury to the financial panic behind the scenes. If you want the real story the league hopes you don't hear, hit like and keep watching. It all happened on July 15th, 2025, during a game between the Indiana Fever and Connecticut Sun, one of the most intense rivalries in the league.
This was honestly, I'm not going to share this whole clip because I don't know how much she wants the video of her basically crying on the court to be circulated around, but she walks down to the end of the court. You can tell that she's in pain. You can tell that there's something wrong. She goes to the, what's it called, like stanchion or whatever, the thing that holds up the basketball hoop on the other end. She hits her head on it. She is fighting back tears and she walks straight over to the bench. Now, when she goes over to the bench, she starts crying, and I've honestly never seen Caitlin Clark cry on the court except when she lost the national championship game. She keeps it together no matter what is happening.
Tension finally exploded. With less than a minute left in a game the Fever were winning, Clark made a smooth backdoor pass. As she turned to run back up the court, she bumped into Connecticut's Jacy Sheldon. To most people, it looked like a normal play, but the result was immediate and serious. Clark grabbed her right groin, an area already injured earlier that season. But this wasn't just a quick pain reaction. Clark tried to push through like she always does, but you could see the pain on her face. This was the breaking point. After the next possession, she slowed down, held her groin again, and walked off toward the baseline. Away from the action and still on camera, her composure finally broke. This wasn't about a missed shot or a bad play. It was the emotional collapse of a player carrying the weight of the entire league.
So, the big way they were able to neutralize Caitlin Clark, and I think it was almost an issue with Stephanie White as much as anything, is they were manhandling her. They were manhandling Caitlin Clark early in that game. Like, they had two hands on her. They were fully getting into the we are grabbing her and we don't really care. Like, that was their goal. Their goal was they were out there to maul Caitlin Clark. They had they had absolutely no intention of doing anything other than mauling Caitlin Clark. Like, they were not out there to play legit defense. They were there to maul Caitlin Clark as much as they possibly could.
Let's put this in perspective. For an athlete like Caitlin Clark, this moment was about much more than just physical pain. She rarely shows weakness, yet she's been hit hard all season, shouldered, elbowed, hip-checked, and barely reacted. Earlier this year, she was also dealing with a quad and groin injury. This breakdown wasn't caused by one hit. It was the result of months of tough physical play, questionable refereeing, and the huge pressure of being the WNBA's face. It was the moment her body finally gave out before what was supposed to be her big all-star moment. Seeing her break down like that was hard to watch. How often do you see a superstar so overwhelmed on the court? Tell me if you think it was more than just physical pain. That raw moment was a warning. The very next day, the league confirmed what everyone feared, and it wasn't just in a press release, but on national TV.
We do start our show, though, with unfortunate news out of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark announced today that she will miss both the three-point contest and the WNBA All-Star Game this upcoming weekend in Indiana after re-aggravating a groin injury in that final minute of Tuesday's win over the Connecticut.
Just like that, it became official. The league's biggest star, Caitlin Clark, who had a record-breaking 1.3 million fan votes, was out of the All-Star Game. She was supposed to be a team captain, the main event, and the face of the weekend in Indiana. For fans, she was the main reason to buy tickets. The WNBA is used to handling PR issues, but this was different. This wasn't about angry tweets. It was about real money. Within 24 hours of the announcement, the average ticket price for the All-Star game on the secondary market dropped by 48%. A nearly 50% price crash overnight is a disaster. It sent a clear message to the league. Without Clark, the product is worth half as much. This loss means millions of dollars evaporated from the host city's economy. The league understands money and stakes. A 48% crash is a warning they cannot ignore. It confirms what analysts have been saying for months. If Clark keeps getting injured, the WNBA risks losing its biggest economic driver. But this crisis didn't happen by accident. It was the predictable result of a pattern of neglect the league was warned about. For months, fans and analysts have argued that Clark was being targeted with excessive physical aggression.
Gets pushed around, thrown to the floor during games, and teammates are standing there just looking, not doing anything. Sophie Cunningham will do something. While other players get a microphone put in front of them, doing their media interviews, while they regurgitate the same nonsense, the same word salad that Stephanie White lies says, Sophie Cunningham will say,
This wasn't just a welcome to the league kind of rough treatment. It was targeted and intentional, a strategy of mauling. It wasn't just one team's tactic. The league's inaction implicitly allowed it. The proof? On June 17th, Jacy Sheldon poked Clark in the eye, and then Marina Mabbey forcefully shoved her to the ground, sparking a major fight. The league later admitted that the referees lost control of the game and missed critical falls. That means the league knew their officials weren't protecting the players. It wasn't ignorance. It was a choice. This choice created an environment where Clark's injury wasn't a question of if, but when. After the league admitted losing control, frustration grew, especially within Clark's camp. With the league failing to act and some teammates hesitant to step in, the responsibility of protection fell on others.
Things come. I feel like the attention and, whatever that is, I don't want to say I get used to it, but to an extent, like you do, and you just accept that's how it's going to be. People are going to criticize you. People are going to praise you, no matter what it is. When you're playing on this level and you have this type of spotlight, whether it's me, whether it's any professional athlete that's at the top of their game. That's just how it's going to be.
After the chaotic June 17th game, Caitlin Clark's head coach Stephanie White openly criticized the league's officiating, saying, "Bad officiating is a league-wide issue. Everyone is getting better except the officials." She revealed she warned the refs during the game, but they failed to control the physicality. The frustration wasn't just on the court, it hit Clark's family too. After her July 15th injury, her brother Colin Clark posted on social media blaming the refs, but quickly deleted it. That deletion hints at pressure to silence criticism, maybe from the team or league. Why delete the tweet? Was it his choice or league pressure? Let me know your thoughts below. When a coach publicly calls out officials and a family feels silenced, it exposes the league's true priorities, something the 48% ticket price crash ultimately revealed. For months, the league stayed silent while Clark faced brutal physical play. The narrative was that she had to toughen up, but insiders suggest a deeper story. The WNBA may have downplayed Clark's stardom to push a league-wide image of toughness, letting her take hits to show the league's physicality. That strategy backfired badly. The 48% market crash proved the league's financial health depends on Clark's well-being. Letting their biggest star get roughed up didn't make the league look strong. It made it look careless, leading to a financial crisis. Now, the big question is the league protecting its players or just its profits?
And this picture that I just came across, I'm like, what are we doing? Kathy Engelbert, she came out, it ain't been that long ago, like 2 weeks ago. Refereeing's pretty good in this league. In what league? What league allows this?
The real motive behind all this wasn't player safety or game integrity. It was the bottom line. The league didn't mind the bad PR or angry fans. What they couldn't handle was a 48% market crash. It wasn't about malice, just business. But that business choice exposed their true priority. Action happens only when profits are at risk, not players. This whole situation has cornered the WNBA. The injury and the massive drop in ticket sales and ratings sent a multi-million-dollar message from the market they're trying to grow. They wanted to show the league wasn't built around one player, but the market brutally proved otherwise. Now the league has to show they care about protecting the players, not just the profits, because the world just witnessed what happens when they don't. What's your take? Was this 48% crash the league's biggest wake-up call, or its worst blow this season? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll be watching how the league responds to this pressure. So subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated. And if you know someone who needs to hear this analysis, share this video with them.